What is going on, people? If you couldn't tell by the title, I'm here for another review. Not of an independent horror movie, which I've been, rampant with, but something on the exact opposite side of the spectrum. Not only do I love horror movies, but I like Disney movies as well. So if you couldn't read the title, I'm doing a review of this guy right here, Zootopia, Disney Zootopia. Um, this one I just watched, and I must say it vaulted over a lot of the Disney movies that I still love, but this one is jumped a few, I must say. I really enjoyed this movie, so that's why I'm doing a review of it. It's directed by Byron Howard, Rich Moore, and Jared Bush. They also are part writers of it. And there's also Josie Trinidad, Jim Reardon, Phil Johnson, Ginnifer Lee, and Dan Folgamari. Probably killed that last name, but I'm horrible with pronunciations. It has the voice talent of Ginnifer Goodwin, who plays Judy Hopps, which is one of the major characters. Jason Bateman plays Nick Wilde, who's a fox, who is another one. Idris Elba, who plays Chief Bongo, who's this like water buffalo, who's another big part, among many other voices, very talented people. Pretty much what this is right in the beginning of the movie, you find out that you know animals have now become civilized and everything. Before, they had a little play that said, before all this, we were you had predators and prey, and that's pretty much how animals lived. And the predators ate the prey. But now that's not how it is. Any animal could be anything they want to. And then little Judy says she wanted to be a cop in Zootopia, which is, this gigantic city with different ecosystems, but all live in one. Like each ecosystem, I guess you want to call it, would have been like a borough in the city. You had like a tundra, you had a Sahara desert, you had a rainforest and such, and each one had its own, distinct whatever people, group of animals that would live there, but it's all in this gigantic Zootopia. So again, she wants to be a cop, but there's never been a rabbit as a cop, I guess you want to call it. So everyone laughed at her. She went through all training, ended up becoming a cop. She ends up going into the meeting or whatever that cops have, and there's this gigantic case going on where 14 animals have been missing for however many weeks. So she thinks she's going to be on part of that, and I guess since she's new and maybe the chief didn't like her, she gets put on traffic cop duty. Little does she know, she's going to run into someone that definitely will help her later on. She runs into Jason Bateman's character, the fox, Nick Wilde. And he's this hustler type person and kind of hustles her. And she finds out that people might not be that this Zootopia might not be the glitz and glamour that she thought it was going to be. So at one point she is on her traffic duty and she sees a perp. She chases after him, and stuff kind of hits the fan, and she ends up in the office of the chief, who's kind of ripping her a new one and telling her, you don't belong here, kind of deal. But one of the family members of that gigantic case that was going on comes in and asks the chief, what they're doing. And she's like, you might not have enough people on this case. And Judy offers her services, which is, the chief was definitely pissed off about, because he didn't want her part of it. But he's like, listen, now if you want a piece of this, if you don't solve this in 48 hours, you must resign, kind of deal. So now it's a real life cop investigation, I guess you want to call it. So that's definitely another reason why I enjoy this movie a whole lot. I'm into CSI and stuff. So she ends up going on this case and kind of seeing kind of sees that this Nick Wilde character might have information. So she kind of busts his chops and finds a way to get him to help. And throughout the rest of the movie, it's them trying to figure out this case and what's going on. Let's just say at one point, animals start turning back to their primitive selves, like all these predators. Like there's lions and there's an otter in here that kind of turns primitive and everything. But I don't want to give too much away. It's definitely something you got to watch. But I must say, it's definitely, like I said, if you like cop movies or cop TV shows like NCSI or Law and Order or anything like that. It's like that kind of movie, kind of show, kind of movie, put into cartoon form with animals and everything. It definitely has an homage to the old school Robin Hood and everything, where the animals dress up as almost like human like kind of deal, where they dress up and have a social not gathering, but kind of they're human like is what I'm trying to get at. But this one, I enjoyed this a whole bunch. I'm probably gonna watch it again. I enjoyed it so much. It's up there with Monsters Inc. and Monsters University and all the favorite ones that I enjoy. I'd say definitely go ahead and check it out if you haven't. So Zootopia, definitely go ahead check it out because, like I said, it got me really excited. That's why I'm doing a review now for you guys, because you definitely have to check this movie out if you haven't. So if this review definitely swayed you towards it, if you were questioning, if you were on the fence, definitely go ahead and watch it. If you enjoyed this review, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. If you haven't already, definitely go ahead, subscribe to my channel. I'll have a lot more reviews for different movies that you probably never heard of. Yeah, so if you enjoy this stuff, again, like it, share it if you can, give me a thumbs up, or go ahead and subscribe if you haven't, and definitely stick around. I will have more. Again, I do have a Instagram where I show off my entire movie collection, and maybe there's something there you might want me to review, so definitely go ahead check that out, Tony's Movies. But I'll also leave the link in the description. And yeah, go ahead check out Zootopia by Disney, or put out by Disney, and you won't regret it. So until next time, I'll see you guys.